What a deal! Not only will I make Egg Scoopa Koopa addicts out of these silly cave people and make myself filthy rich at the same time, just wait till they discover the side effects. Those bird brains will never know what hit them.
I forgot money.
Super Mario, Super Mario, Super Mario World.
Super Mario World was a show from the past. And if you're thinking it's good, well, you'll be sorry you asked. Delfino and the Peach here are watching what they can. The budget was $2 and a piece of ham.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, it just looks like ass. The Supershow Saga, it's a gas! Ooh, you're in a different location now.
I've got one more day of this nice desk in my room before I have to move it.
Such a pro
It's so
look.
convenient. You can see all my fancy stuff.
Wait,
Why are you going to lose your desk?
Oh, we have to put it back downstairs.
It
was just up here because of the Christmas tree.
We had to move a lot of stuff around.
And so since we put up the Christmas tree already, and I'm like, I barely even got to look at the Christmas tree.
We've still got ours up, but it doesn't have any lights on. What is that?
I keep trying to. So I've got a recording bot. It's how I record podcasts now.
I'm trying to do the backup recorder.
Yeah, but it's not wanting to get in there. Let's just hope that Craig hangs
Cross
in
your
there.
fingers.
Otherwise, we lose episode audio.
But yeah, I'm working
I do
crazy.
have a backup recording here too, if you need that.
Oh, okay.
That's good. I'm working like
That's
crazy
smart.
because everybody at my work is sick right now.
Oh,
So since
Guys, you
I'm
work
not
in the
sick,
Pharmacy.
hopefully you stay not sick if everyone else is sick.
I haven't gotten sick, so I'm good. So, but still, I'm finally taking a vacation. So yay, I'm off this week.
Yay. I've got
after I work 6 days in a row, I'm like, I'm taking a vacation.
Vacation time.
I mostly asked off for GDQ, but
That's true. Game's done quick. It'll be after this. When this episode goes live, it'll be afterwards.
it'll
But-
already be done.
Yeah. What do you think the best run will be? Place your bets, Peach.
You know, I wrote down the ones I was looking forward to. It's not in here, but
Dang. Anyways, Christmas has come and gone. We've had to tear everything down at our house. But what about you, Drew? What'd you get for Christmas that you really appreciate?
I think I just enjoyed the time off. I was looking forward to a few months off just for about 3 months. Let's just wait. So I was just happy just to spend time with the family and not do much.
That is nice. I've got no reason to show off, but I will. Ah!
Oh, very nice.
Splatoon 2.
mine is over here. Oh, I gotta move.
Super heavy. And now I have it. It's like, I just can't wait for the Splatoon 3
Cuphead
one.
art book.
Cuphead.
Oh, you're getting all the art books for Christmas.
So many art books. Our dad was looking for stuff for us, and I'm like, get her an art book. I want
I'm
this
not
one.
sure why you picked Cuphead, but Cuphead's cool.
I mean, Cuphead's pretty darn cool. We were looking at the Zelda ones, and you were like, no, not the Zelda ones.
Don't want the Zelda ones?
You have the first Zelda one.
Yeah, I had the original Hyrule Historia.
Yeah, with the concept art for all games except Minish Cap. There's no concept art.
Yeah.
You gotta stop looking at those gnats.
I'm sorry, there's a bunch of gnats in my room. It's driving me crazy.
I think they're just in the house.
It's either because of my plant or because I have these dried apricots in here.
I think it's the food that you're hoarding in your room.
There it is. I got it. Okay. We're good.
It's dead.
Oh, there's another one. Darn it. That's just how it goes. You see one and you're like, oh, I finally got it. And there's like 20 more.
I guess so. Gnats are really just a mild inconvenience, though. It's not like
They're not like
cockroaches.
flies where they poop on your food.
Do
Yeah,
flies?
that's
Microscopic poop. I mean, the scariest one to me are
Whatever.
cockroaches,
It's not gonna kill you, but it's gross to think about.
centipedes, house centipedes. Ooh.
All right, we're done talking about bugs.
What about spiders? You guys don't get the spiders like we do over here.
I
That'll
don't
creep you
think
out.
so.
Oh, no, it's not nearly as bad as that.
I just see like a few daddy long leg type spiders where they've got a big body and tiny little legs. And sometimes they'll pass through and it's like, ooh. But they just
When you
go
get
off
into
on
like
their
a
own.
wooded area, that's where you find the wolf spiders, but
Black
or-
widow.
or
No,
brown-
not black widows.
Black
brown
widow.
recluse. That's the
Brown
kind we have here.
Ooh. No, I'm trying to think of the one at camp. Is that the one at camp? Where
Yeah,
it's the daddy
brown
long
recluse.
legs? Okay. I mean, the thing I love about daddy long legs is they have an extra long proboscis antenna that you pick them up with and throw them away.
You just pick them up and they go blah.
It's extra long.
They're
So
just
you
so
can-
cool. It makes me think of Pikmin. Like of all the enemies in Pikmin, I think Daddy Longlegs were perfect.
They were cool for elemental, but they kind of them being underground just makes them more annoying. Because everything in Pikmin 2 is out to kill you.
It's already such a cool looking creature just in nature, and then they're like, let's make it a Pikmin enemy, and I'm like, ooh.
Drew, do you agree that spiders are cool creatures?
Yeah, I don't really like them. My wife
I
usually
didn't
says,
mean
"Come and kill it."
spiders. I meant Daddy Longlegs.
Your wife goes to
Daddy
get it.
Longlegs are different than spiders.
Yeah, my wife, she's like, "Oh, look, come and kill the spider," which is usually tiny. I've just got to come and flick it away or something.
Pew!
Have you ever seen a coconut crab? Is that what they're called?
What? Which one? I'll look it up.
Coconut crab. Let me have a look at this.
It's the crab that's Crab Brawler on Pokemon is based on. They're
Oh.
huge. Am I thinking of the right crab? Coconut crab?
I think so. It's got like a big fist. And there. Oh, here's a picture of one killing a bird. What the heck?
I know they're crazy. Coconut.
They're violent. I mean, when I think crabs, I think of the Christmas
God,
crabs.
they are massive.
The tiny Christmas crabs that populate is it New Zealand
Texas?
or Madagascar?
Oh.
No, it's the ones on an island. It's like once a year they'll migrate in mass and they have to close the roads.
I was watching that on Facebook the other day, actually. I think it was Madagascar or somewhere. It
Was it-
wasn't New Zealand.
Okay. It's Christmas Island with the Christmas crabs. But it's really funny because they're big crabs, but then they have little baby crabs, and they're just like tiny little spiders.
Coconut crab.
It's not the coconut crab.
It is a coconut crab.
Okay, that is a coconut crab. This in the chit chat is a Christmas Island crab, and all of its millions of little
Christmas Island.
babies.
Yep.
They're adorable. Oh, I love
Oh,
crabs.
I know. I mean, I'm just a seafood
Scary
person.
friends.
Crab. Although I'm more.
I
of
like
an
to look at them,
imitation
and
seafood.
I like to look at them, and I like to eat them. Yum.
Yum yum yum. My
Delicious.
favorite seafood, though, seems to be imitation seafood because it's what I want out of seafood, not what you get for super expensive prices.
You know, I went to a Korean barbecue place the other day, which was really interesting. But like they have all the little side dishes to go with your meat, and then one of them was this really delicious fish cake. It was so good.
Ooh.
I'm not a seafood person. I don't mind fish, but I'm not so much a big seafood person. Like I don't like crabs. We get crayfish around here. Don't like eating crayfish.
Mm.
I don't know.
Crayfish are
shrimp?
interesting. Their tails are good, and that's about it.
What about
Mm.
shrimps?
No, no.
Okay.
I don't chuck shrimps on the barbie. If that's where you're
I
going.
wasn't even thinking about that. I'm talking like butterfly
That was immediately
shrimps.
where my brain went.
I was like butterfly fried
I
shrimp.
have heard that about shrimp, though. It's that some people think shrimp don't have a lot of flavor. I'm like, I don't know.
That's a lot. Maybe it is all
guess
in the bread when you
The
fry it.
levels of seafood,
Mm.
I think shrimp is like the easy seafood.
Like
And
easy
then
to get
lobster's
into.
in the middle. And then
Really,
stuff
you'd
like
put lobster in the middle.
Oysters Stuff like
Ooh.
oysters or scallops are
No.
like way on the other end.
Scallops.
Like you
I feel
gotta
like
you gotta
Try
like
it out.
seafood to eat like oysters or
Where
something.
would you put raw seafood though, like sashimi?
That's definitely on the seafood aficionado level.
You gotta be
Just
a pro.
just the texture of it all. It's just gross. Like raw fish and
I think it's a fun
oysters
texture.
and
I'm there for that.
Man, I had
Yeah.
sushi yesterday. It was so good. Oh,
I respect that. I
Oh.
respect that.
delicious.
Sush. I don't know. Maybe it's because
It was it was a blue dragon roll, so it had
Oh, that's what you got at Asahi.
it has fried shrimp in the middle, and then cream cheese and avocado, and then it's topped with eel, which is always cooked because you can't have
Eel?
that raw, and then with the eel sauce, and it was just delicious.
Eel sauce is one of those magical sauces.
It is.
What is your favorite sauce of all time? You could put it on anything.
You could eat it by itself.
Yeah. What's your number one sauce?
I like barbecue sauce.
Barbecue is
A
good.
bit boring. Yeah, I just like
I
it, you
do
know, with
not
your
care for
chips or-
barbecue sauce.
Barbecue can be good, but not spicy barbecue. That's where it gets dangerous. I'm too simple. I like ketchup. Ketchup on
context does that get
anything
dangerous?
tastes good.
Surprisingly, I hate ketchup. Like I can't stand it.
What? Ketchup is tomatoes and other wonderful seasonings combined to make.
I just don't like cooked tomatoes. Like
You
I
and
like raw
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
The opposite with potatoes. I'll take a cooked potato or mashed potato, but like a steamed potato. No.
I thought you were about to say a raw potato. And I'm like, you don't eat raw potatoes. That's your problem.
That's what they ate in Ireland.
You dig it up out of the ground and take a big chomp.
And the leaves is a salad. Throw up.
You can't eat the leaves.
Well, you can. They just
potato.
make you.
They're poisonous.
They have high amounts of silicone and poison in them,
Oh, jeez.
like other greenery. Anyways, you
That's
didn't
what
say your favorite
nightshade-
condiment.
It's related to nightshade.
Potatoes are related to nightshade?
Yeah.
What? But that's a berry. It's like blueberries.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. It's been a while since I took my ecology class.
What's your favorite sauce, Peach? Then we can move on.
I told you it's eel sauce. I love eel sauce.
Okay, I thought you were going to say blue cheese. Although I guess asking dressing is different than asking.
Although I do love blue cheese. It's delicious.
But you and blue cheese, Drew.
Nah. I mean, I can't say I've had it that much, but you know,
Drew has no blue cheese opinions.
I'm coming across pretty vanilla, aren't I? I'm like, nah, I don't need that. But
No.
I don't consider myself that fussy. But no seafood, no blue cheese.
That's
nothing,
okay. I mean,
you know.
you don't want to have a bad night.
Okay, so
eating.
nightshade is related to potatoes, eggplants,
Fair
and
point.
tomatoes.
And tomatoes. There
Okay.
you go.
Is it because they all originated in the South America?
It's just based on the type of flour it is.
Oh, okay. So
It's its
not
classification.
Okay.
So it's that you can eat the fruits of some of them because potatoes aren't fruits; they're tubers.
Are they vegetables?
Yes,
Okay.
so vegetables are classified as like leaves, stems, and roots.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, am I getting too nerdy in here?
Oh, and potatoes, they grow underground. So that all checks out.
She's stemming. She can
Look,
hyper explain.
Look, if it doesn't have seeds, then it's not a fruit.
So tomatoes are fruits, is what we're saying.
Yes, tomatoes
Okay,
are fruits.
even though they are related to potatoes and eggplants. I guess eggplants also have seeds.
Eggplants are also fruits.
Okay. What's another type of tuber? So we can think about tubers.
Sweet potatoes.
Is it just potatoes?
Horseradish.
Oh yeah. Garlic?
Not garlic. Ginger.
Ginger. That's what I'm thinking of. How's garlic grow? I thought you pulled it out of the ground.
Garlic,
Like
it's
onions.
a clove.
What about onions?
You're gonna make me look up. All
I'm
I know
sorry.
is that
We're both getting so distracted because we
Fruits
do not.
are weird. Strawberries are technically not berries.
But you know
Pineapples
what?
are berries.
But you know
Wow.
what?
Yeah,
They're
never thought
good
about
for
that.
you. And you know what's not good for you is chicken.
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 Why are we talking about chicken?
We're talking about chicken because that's the theme of today's episode.
Oh no.
And that's what I love. I love myself some fried chicken, I tell you that.
Ooh, I guess out
absolutely.
of all the red meats, they are the best.
But chicken isn't red meat;
picky.
it's white meat.
It is.
Yes.
Is red meat just pork and beef?
Mm-hmm.
Pork's not
Pork,
red meat either.
beef. Oh wait, that's
Pork
true.
is pink beef.
So if you want your red meat, you got your beef, lamb,
Lamb,
veal. Yeah,
veal.
Lamb. Veal, you know, all the animals that have red meat.
You've eaten veal?
I haven't eaten it, but it is, yeah.
Okay.
Venison, which is deer.
Foie gras, or whatever it's called.
The fanciest bird, squirrel. I guess that would all be
disgusting.
Red meat. Dad's eating squirrel.
It's expensive and disgusting. I'm like, if it's going to cost $1 billion, it should at least taste
cheap
good.
When you get it yourself, the squirrel is.
So what's this? This is like a expensive squirrel meat, something.
Foie gras.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
no,
I've never heard of it.
It's like you take a duck and you get it really fat, and then
gotcha.
like you take out its liver. You take out its liver or something, and you eat that, and it's just like ugh, organ meat. Yuck.
The liver is very nutritious.
That sounds awful.
I'm looking at it. It's like a meatloaf cheese, but it's.
Are you talking about veal or?
I looked up pata foie gras from this articles.
I don't know. It's
pictures provided.
It's famous like caviar for being one of those foods that's like stupid expensive.
Okay, like
it's
you only get
and
it
unethical.
Unlike cheap and unethical food, which we see in today's episode because we're talking too much.
You're really trying to veer us into the Scoopa Koopa, and I'm trying my darndest to not think about this episode ever again.
Either you stem more about vegetables, or we get on with the Supershow Saga, featuring me, Delfino Durians,
and me, Peach Supreme,
and special guest star Druby from the House of Mario.
Hey guys, good to be back. It's nice.
We
nice
brought
to
you
talk to
from
you guys again.
One of our favorite episodes to one of our ironically favorite episodes.
I would just like to offer an apology to you, Drew, for having to sit through this episode.
It's insane.
I had to watch it twice.
It feels like it's trying to teach me a lesson because I do like my fast food. That's for sure. I feel like it's really trying to give me a lesson, which I know full well the benefits of a better diet, but I don't know if this cartoon really put me on the right track, but it's definitely trying to help.
It put us. I feel like this is scaremongering the cartoon. You'll turn into a chicken. Keep eating chicken.
Spoilers.
Start oinking like a pig. Turn into fat pigs.
Gross.
Why wasn't it pigs?
That's Spirited Away.
Where they turn into pigs after eating.
And that did scare me a lot as a kid. So I can imagine this would scare people.
That movie is too scary for its own good. I mean, what was it? The scariest Ghibli movie is probably Grave of Fireflies, because that one's just...
I wouldn't say it's scary. It's definitely the most heart-wrenching one. Like, I was sobbing. I had to pause the movie because I was sobbing.
It's because it's a World War II
yes.
recollection film.
Oh,
it's like,
God.
Oh, no.
It hits you right in the feels.
It hits right in the kokoro. Ghibli hasn't done much lately. Now I'm the one getting off track. So I'm thinking about if Ghibli's made any movies recently, which I don't think
they did one.
have.
It's called Earwig and the Witch. It was their first fully 3D movie, and it's not that good.
Oops.
No, that sucks. When did that come out?
That was on streaming. I'll look it up.
It just got a dub a little while ago. I don't think it was this year. It might have been the year before.
It was last year.
2020?
Yeah, and it was directed by Miyazaki's
It was like
son.
December of 2020. So it was really close to
late.
the end of the year.
It was trying for Oscars. It didn't get anywhere.
Just what the anime want. They want
Sorry,
the Oscar.
Goro.
We had to give it to. Wait,
Soul.
what did win 2020? Okay. Which one won it again? Oh yeah, that one.
What did Pixar do? Oh yeah, that one. It won.
Yeah, that one. Did they do? They did Luca for 2021, right?
Well, we haven't. They haven't voted yet.
Okay.
But
Have they announced nominees? Or
I'm not sure.
Are we still in the for your consideration period where they're picking? They might still be in the picking period. Anyways, I really didn't watch a lot of animated movies last year because they're all suddenly moving to streaming. It's like, well, we can't put in theaters, so we'll just slide it onto wherever, and you just have to figure it out there as you go. It's like
personally, I didn't feel like there were any super interesting ones. This year is looking really exciting for movies. We got the Mario movie coming out in December.
Oh, that Mario movie.
Oh, I'm excited.
You have to do a whole podcast series just about the movie.
No one can get over that. I mean, we could do those little moment episodes where it's like, this just in, a trailer dropped.
Oh my god.
Whoa! I cannot wait. I am like,
Mario sounds like Chris Pratt. Wow.
I'm begging
He's
for
so
a
cool.
trailer. I'm so excited.
Everyone's so hung up on Mario being Chris Pratt.
Whatever. I don't care if it's good, I'll love it. If it's crap, I'll like it. Like
I'm here because Charlie Day is Luigi.
Have you ever seen the original Mario movie, Drew?
Yeah. I actually liked it. It was so bad.
See it in theaters?
I did not. I'm not quite that old.
I'm not
when
that
did it
old
come
either.
out? It came out like 10 years before I was born.
10 years before you were born? It came out in 93.
Did it? Oh, it came out a year before I was
Jurassic
born. Then.
Park. Okay.
It came out a year before I was born. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the same year as Jurassic Park.
It was the same season.
It was the same week as Jurassic Park.
It was maybe 2 weeks, but it was like, it just stole all of the attention.
And we all know which one's the better movie, so...
Why go to the bad dinosaur movie when you could go to the good one that's still good? I think my film studies teacher had us watch it for our first week of film class. He's like, it's just my favorite movie. And you guys are going to watch it and apply a critical lens. And it's like, dang it, this movie does hold up with a critical lens. It's not just turn your brain off and enjoy the dinosaurs.
It's been the next lesson. He should make you watch the Mario Bros movie. Just be like, all right, this is what you don't do.
This is what happens when you
trust the fungus.
Trust that fungus.
Take a little too literally.
We slept with the fungus. Huffed the fungus. You consume the fungus. I don't know.
Which
I remember when Bowser
drugs work
King
with
Scoopa
fungus.
popped up. And he was just like an actual human being. I just remember being like, "What?
This isn't right."
Like, how did you think that was the way to go? But
oh well,
they were just too lazy.
They just didn't have the energy to.
Hey, he turns into like a T-Rex at the end, so it's kind of
similar-ish. Reptilia-ish. I don't even remember how it ends.
It's just an origin story.
He gets hit with the Devo gun,
right?
And he learns to he learns to whip it good.
Okay,
whip it good.
And then they play that really good song at the end, "Walk the Dinosaur," and it's like, okay, this was worth it.
That was absolutely a bop.
This is a good cover.
It's worth sitting through it for.
Speaking of dinosaurs,
we
have to talk about Mario World. So
and I'm just looking over my notes again, and there's so many lines I've written in all caps. Just like, what is going on? Why?
So Drew, besides Mama Luigi, have you seen any episodes of the Mario World cartoon?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
It kind of like for me, thinking back to when I was younger, it sort of blurs in with the Mario Bros. 3 cartoon. So I'm not quite sure what I saw and what I haven't, but Don't know. It seems like kind of similar.
It
In some
changed
way?
animation studios for one. They moved from
Yeah.
their one from the original to like an even lower budget one this time.
Right. Yeah, 'cause I'm
Ironically, it's
just
called the Pacific Rim Studios. It's like, what?
really.
This is years before the movie came out.
That's
I
awesome.
think it was just that it was half the amount of episodes. So
It
it's
shared a time
13.
slot with Captain N.
So they just really had to squeeze it in. It was like featured promo. And the worst crime of all was that all of the episodes the stories were overviews, were written primarily by one guy who is Phil Harnage, as we meet in this episode. And he passed it off to people. But I think Phil Harnage tried to pass this episode off to people, and all of the writers went,
And everybody looked
"No,
at it and went, no.
we're not
No."
touching this." And it got left over, and he's like, well, shoot, I've got to write this myself.
Yeah. Right. Well, because
like
when you
they
guys
all-
sent me the link,
Mhm.
I noticed it was like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, it seems like really short, and that's interesting to like hear why it's so short.
It's
Because
the longest 10 minutes of your life.
yeah, because like I didn't know it shared the same time slot as Captain N back in the day
Yeah.
either. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's like Pew commercial Captain N.
It's a bit like
It's
the
like-
Garfield cartoon, how it shared it with it was Garfield and Friends. And I remember always being like,
Friends.
I don't care about Garfield's Friends. I just want to watch the episodes of Garfield. And they were so short. I would have watched 20 minutes of Garfield eating lasagna and lying on John's counter. But anyway, I won't go off track with that.
Terrorizing Odie.
Poor Odie.
Anywho, what was it? PG, you were saying something?
I
Maybe.
totally forgot what I was saying. So.
I did too. But definitely this episode, Phil tried, but my God, it's insane.
It was
And
like he
also-
was passing the episodes around, and then like they all picked one, and this was the leftover one in the corner that nobody wanted.
And he's like, oh,
like,
that's good,
oh.
because this is a very personal matter to me, said Phil. I can really
So,
make this one.
as a bit of context, we have a running theory with this Super Mario World show is that Phil Harnage has a problem with making weight jokes
He makes a lot of weight jokes. It's
There's
in
a lot of
multiple
cracks.
episodes.
about people's weight.
Like
And I'm
Mario's
just like-
high in cholesterol.
There's like Luigi's falling off a cliff, and Mario's like, "Oh, you've been packing on the pasta, Luigi."
Just that.
There's the Christmas episode where Yoshi says that Santa's too fat to go down the chimney or something.
No, it's to get through the bars.
To get through
Santa
the
is
bars.
not going on a diet.
Santa needs to go on diet.
Santa is not doing that. There's that. There's a comment in Ghosts R Us about the Wizard Haim being a fat
They
old
keep
man.
poking his belly, and it's just like, wow.
It is
Early
real.
90s. A bit different, I
Maybe
guess.
Phil needs to talk to someone about
I
this.
think definitely this is Phil. Okay, so the title of this episode is King Scoopa Koopa, but Peach has come up with a much better title for this episode.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Well, what was
Throw
it?
under the bus.
Do you want to say it or me?
I don't remember. What are we talking about?
It was a cluck for help,
Oh, that's true.
like a cry
True.
for
After we
help.
watched it, I said that this episode feels like a cry for help.
And we went, it's a cluck for help because they're chickens.
That's good.
But the episode's actual title is called King Scoopa Koopa, which, what is this a pun on?
Yeah, I
don't
was wondering,
know.
like, what are they scooping? Like, he's serving chicken.
Like, that sounds like
he's
ice
got a special
cream.
Koopa sauce. Yeah, it
I'd
makes it like
say
an ice
it
cream
sounds
parlor.
like you know how in those like food lines at cafeterias, how like they had like the mystery food and they scoop it up and like put it on the tray and give it to you.
The slog.
Like that's the slop. Like that's just how it is in cartoons and stuff.
I suppose.
Hmm.
I just don't see where the Scoopa Koopa came in. Like, that's not a very trendy name for.
It feels like an episode that should be
restaurant?
like about Koopa starting a reporting business.
Oh, like getting the Scoopa
Yeah.
on the Koopa. Or it would be Scoopa on Koopa. Boom.
The Scoopa
that's-
on Koopa.
Yeah, it's where the
Oh,
Mario.
that just sounds like you're scooping up Koopa poop.
No.
You
Go
start
to
a
the Koopa
dog.
Park.
You start a
Clean
dog.
up your shit.
It's like a
Koopa
dog
Scoopa.
walking service, but they're chain chomps, and
I
like
think
they gotta clean up the poop with the little pooper scoopers.
the horses with the dinosaurs. It
I'd like
fit
to think there's an
perfectly.
episode out there where they have to go and clean up chain chomp poop.
They have to follow Yoshi around with those little like sweeper trays that
Horse
they have
that-
out to the horses.
It's like
So
the
that's
derby.
that's a scary vision because in this like Yoshi's sentient, like he's
Mhm.
talking and all that. So if he's just pooing wherever he wants, like that's probably not on. He's got the intelligence not to.
Some people cannot contain their bladders.
And true, he is a
Incontinence.
baby.
I
Is
get
a
that, but
thing.
is Yoshi a pet or not in this, or is he a member of the team? That's what we've really got to dig down to.
I think we've associated that Peach is like Yoshi's aunt.
Yeah,
And wow, okay.
with money.
Mario's like the dad, and Luigi's like the mom.
Mama
in this
Luigi.
family in this family circle, because
It's a found
Luigi's
family.
always like teaching Yoshi to do stuff and like taking care of him, and then Mario's like, "Oh, come on, Yoshi, let's go. I'm gonna ride on your back now. We got
On
work
an
to do."
adventure. But they'll still like discipline him when
Yeah.
necessary. Anywho, this episode, as we mentioned before, is written by, and we are publicly humiliating him now, Phil Harnage.
Sorry, Phil.
Which is such a crying
Take
shame
that,
because he's
Phil.
written so much for Mario before. He's written Butch Mario and Luigi Kid, Count Coopula, Toad Warriors, The Pied Koopa,
Oh,
Koopenstein, Escape from Koopatraz, Star Koopa, which was a really good episode in retrospect,
that's the Star Wars episode.
Do the Koopa, and Cootie Pie Rocks. So he's
Oh.
written a lot of good, but I think he just went mad with Mario World. He had enough.
Like we talk about like
We're mad at power.
left-handed episodes and right-handed episodes. I feel like he wrote this episode with his foot.
I think he formed his stomach into a grip.
It's like he put the pen in his mouth and he went.
I
I
gotta stop eating food. Started
He
nibbling
He would
on
have
the
had rent
pencil.
or a mortgage to pay that week. He needed something out.
He
He,
was-
needed that
he was
paycheck. So
writing-
this is what we got.
He was writing 2 episodes. He's like, I gotta write a 3rd episode. And so like he sticks the pen in his mouth. And goes, ah.
Perfect. Let's get it in.
I didn't have a pen. I just had this candy cane.
I don't put it. Anyways, so we need to start the episode.
Do we though?
Yes. Because we
unfortunately.
start at one of my favorite locations, which we only see for the first time in this episode, the Bald Head House. It's a bald head.
So it's that, I guess, like the main house that they live in is like surrounded by a little lake with a bridge, which
Yeah.
is ironic because Yoshi afraid of water, as we've established.
Yoshi fine is because there's a bridge.
It's fine.
This bridge is fine.
Because like we've seen the other cave people's houses and they're just like scattered around in the jungle or whatever.
Rectangles.
Yeah. But this is like the big dome house, like the center of Dome City.
Yeah. That's Dune City.
It's Dome
We have
City.
talked about this before. Anyways, so we are on to talking about what the problem is today. Mario's like, come on, Toadstool. I don't want to eat rabbit food, which is apparently
Lovely food for rabbits, that is.
just sandwiches, but it's all rabbit food to Mario, because
At first I thought it was a giant sandwich, but it's a bunch of sandwiches stacked on top of each other.
it's like clubs on top of each other. You use multiple pieces of bread.
So much white bread. It's not healthy for you.
No.
Those sandwiches don't look that healthy.
It looks
It's
very,
not.
very high in cholesterol.
But Toadstool's like, it's
Gotta
good for
carb
you,
up.
Mario.
Hmm.
It's good for you. What are you doing?
I'm
And
just
then
so
Mar-
confused about why they've decided to make Mario picky about food. I'm like, isn't Mario the I eat everything guy?
I think he'll go for pasta, but he's more for the meat in pasta. That's what he's there for in pasta.
That meat?
Yeah, the meat
He
in the
said
lasagna. Like the three parts of lasagna: the pasta, the cheese, the meat, and I guess the red sauce. He's there for the meat.
I think he
Most
likes
of all.
everything because, like, there's that episode of the Toad Warrior, I think, where like they find the pasta sauce tanker, and like he just like opens the valve and starts pouring the pasta sauce into his mouth.
Stop it, Mario! That's our only pile of pasta sauce.
It was a really funny visual.
Anywho, Mario says the sad thing about food, which is true, is that all the good food that tastes good is bad for you, and all the food that tastes bad is allegedly good for you. And it's like, that is so true, Mario.
You guys say the writing wasn't very good for this, but I'll tell you what, that really
No,
resonated
the writing
with me.
was
I'm like,
fine. It was the subject matter that I have a problem with.
The subject matter, a few choice lines, and just the overall concept is insane.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel Mario. Like, I'm looking over right now. I've got York Mints. I've got these Lindor chocolates. I didn't buy the Lindors, but so much food.
all left over from Christmas, or you just gone out and been like, bugger it, we're getting chocolate?
I did go out and get the York. I was suffering from chocolate deficiency.
Yeah. It does make me think of our uncle who lost his sense of taste.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and smell.
so like he lost a ton of weight just because like he was basically just eating to survive. So like he couldn't taste anything, so he's like, I might as well eat healthy stuff. It's fine with me. And like he lost so much weight.
I think it was like 20 to 30 pounds.
Wow.
It was a lot for him, but he is starting to get it back. So this Christmas we got him a Toblerone bar because he likes those most of all, and he's like, ooh, Toblerone.
He'll just be craving his favorite foods. He'll be like, just give it to me.
That's the sad thing. It's like to not taste those foods you love. At that point, I would just go for texture. Like when eating, it's like I just want the stuff that has a good texture.
I think there's like specific meals that are made for people with no sense of taste that are like texture based.
That's cool. I would eat hard-boiled eggs. They've got a really good texture.
I would stay the heck away from jelly.
Soft-boiled eggs are the best texture. Anywho, so somehow they're talking and they're like, oh, you know, you never complain about food, Mario, unless it's like you and Yoshi are the same. It's like, where is Yoshi? They're like, oh, I don't know.
Yoshi will eat anything. Like, he's eaten dirt before.
He loves dirt.
And he was excited about it, too. Like, he was chopping up the dirt. He's like, yay, dirt! And we're like, Yoshi, please.
Yoshi, stop. But there's suddenly, where is Yoshi? They're like, he might be in trouble if he's not here for food. And they hear suddenly an elephant noise, and that means he's in danger.
So they all jump up, and there's this really awkward loop of them running in place.
Luigi had a bit of a seizure trying to get up. Everyone else is fine.
There's just something up with this Mario World cartoon where every time they try to like loop an animation, they don't have enough frames to loop it properly, so it just looks really weird.
It's true. It's like whenever they do a background pan, they don't actually match up the backgrounds at the corners, so you can tell where it like, starts and stops.
You can see the little line where the cell ends.
It's like, sad.
They're just like, you get the idea. They're transitioning. It's all good.
Yeah, they're totally walking here. Look, I'm walking.
So they walk out and they see that suddenly there is something on sale, and it says Scoopa Koopa, which again is not a pun on anything.
He's selling ice cream apparently by the sign.
Koopa King. They could have done some other McKoopas.
But they're selling Egg McMuffins basically.
Yeah. And these egg sandwiches are the main selling point, and there are free samples, which that gets
I love how I kind of wish like they'd had Luigi go free and Mario go samples.
That's too much. But
that would have been clever.
They are told that it's egg sandwiches, and Mario's like, ugh. Me and eggs, no way. Which I kind of understand Mario with. I like eggs when I cook them, but when somebody else cooks the eggs, I'm like, I don't trust
like.
like
I
that.
like normal eggs, but like restaurant quality eggs are just disgusting. Because like when you make it
They
on
come
batch,
from a paste.
it just turns into a paste. It's disgusting.
Might get kernels in them, and it's like, this is just grits. I'm out.
I don't like how rubbery these eggs are. It's like Luigi's eating it and he like pulls it with his teeth, and I'm just like,
It's just like a real egg McMuffin from McDonald's.
you could throw it on the ground and it would bounce up.
Whee!
McDonald's egg is so gross.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It truly is
Actually
just
makes me
liquid.
sick.
Liquid paste. I mean, people complain about chicken nuggets, but that's cooked. The egg McMuffin is
No.
barely cooked.
Because the line what gets me with King Cooper is like, no one likes runny eggs. I'm like, oh man, I
That
like
is a
runny eggs.
lie. I love runny eggs.
That's a big lie.
Get me that salmonella. I love runny eggs.
Okay.
It's that
Big
pink
fan.
coating that eggs can get. It's just the best. But we're not there yet because there's a whole line queue waiting for ordering to Scoopa Koopa. And it's just set up like a stall, like a lemonade stand, but with a kitchen in the back. But it's open air kitchen. There's no like roof or anything else.
There is a
But
roof.
there is a roof? I
Yeah.
thought there was just a billboard.
They're basically
outside.
like under a hut.
Okay, so it's like a
And so
patio.
they've got a bunch of stuff like in the hut that they're cooking with.
Okay, but Yoshi is in the front of the line because he is ready for food.
He is gunning for that food. So he wants 4 coconut shakes, 6 orders of papaya fries, which sounds delicious, by the way.
papaya
and
fries.
8 egg Scoopa Koopas.
He wants like 8 sandwiches.
And like later on, we see that everyone's eating it all together. But I'm like, did Yoshi just order this all for himself?
The answer is yes. He's like, I'll do even numbers. That's easy to count.
Because like, if you're thinking about it, he's ordering it for everyone. Like he did get 4 shakes, so it's 1 for everybody.
Okay, and then it's like 2 sandwiches for everybody. But then how do you split up the fries?
Maybe he
Let's
figured
put 'em
someone
in the
else
middle.
wouldn't eat the
Put 'em
fries.
in the middle,
Maybe-
share.
I mean,
guess
Mario
so.
eats all the fries.
Free for all for fries. Anywho, there's a whole
I get the
assembly
fries, but you
line.
eat the fries. Get a
If
plate of
anyone
fries
want
for
the
the table.
leftover fries, they're cold and they're damp. They're just the worst fries. So
Ooh,
there's a whole
cold
assembly
damn
line
fries.
getting ready for this stuff.
I love how Koopa is narrating over the entire
Yeah,
assembly
he's like
line.
barking orders. You know, what's the haste makes paste? Haste makes
Haste.
waste?
Haste makes waste.
There we go. But he's also like, get the job done, people. Time is money.
No money, no honey, everybody.
Come on, TikTok goes the clock. Just saying all those corporate, get your group
Don't forget the secret ingredient,
crack cocaine.
crack cocaine.
Ooh.
There's so much bad going on.
Jeez.
Anywho, but there might be a salmon run where the Grizzco is just barking orders at you, but they're just putting all these things in, and it's like, I wonder what goes in each ingredient that's an addictive drug that'll get you to come back for more. Because places
Apparently,
don't forget that
The
secret,
sauce, which is just like, I don't know, like old
I
vegetables
don't
or
even
something.
know what it is.
It made me think of the recycled Koopa episode in Mario 3, whereas
Mhm.
he's got like the radioactive Koopa waste, and like he puts the Koopa waste
into the real world.
in the real world, and it turns people into Koopas. So I'm like, is it
Mhm.
similar to that? Like,
Where Koopa simply being around it makes it mush.
so is it the special sauce that does the duty, or is it the egg?
I think it's the egg mixed with the special sauce gets
How
the
did
duty
he figure
done.
this out?
He had
Because
I guess we
it
can talk about
surely
this
must be the
later.
egg. It must be the egg because like Mario's still eating food from there, but he doesn't turn into a chicken.
It's true.
But
he
the
goes
only
more on
thing with the
fries.
special sauce is the Scoopa Koopa. Or
I
the
think
egg
I
McMuffin.
think it's a chemical
A
What's it
chemical
called?
reaction.
Not a reaction, but it's when you combine the two things together and they create a compound.
A compounding reaction.
Yeah, maybe. It's like the two things together make the deed happen. They do
So
the
they should have given
duty.
us a science lesson here too. That would have been a great lesson for kids. Don't eat junk food. Get into the
Yeah.
science.
Nah.
You become a chicken.
They just want to give the idea of it, not the actual like facts, because those would have been quickly.
I just think it's crazy how the one dinosaur sticks his bare hand in the fryer. Because, like, Koopa isn't feeding his poor workers, and so, like, they're like, I'll snitch one of the fries from the fryer. Which,
I'll suffer third-degree burns.
As someone who has worked in a restaurant with a fryer, I have absolutely done this.
You've stuck your fingers in the fryer?
No, I didn't stick my fingers in the fryer. I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you put the fries in the basket, like, one or two fall out on top of the fryer, and you're like, let me just snitch one of those. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Or, like, there's an extra one, like, floating in there, and you're like...
Okay. So you don't, like, go in for a handful.
No. That's a good way to not have a hand anymore.
And also to get fired.
Like, I probably still have burns from just the backsplash.
Yikes. Ugh. But Koopa's tail is wagging as he's talking about all of the money that he's making and how he's so happy because he's ruining everyone's lives. He just knows.
He's gonna rip them off, he's gonna make them addicted, and he's not gonna tell them about the secret side effect that's caused by combining his Scoopa sauce with those eggs.
But what is that secret side
Wink.
effect?
We'll
we don't know yet.
Out. Wink.
But we go to Yoshi, who gives my favorite line delivery of the episode.
I forgot money.
I forgot money. It was so cute.
I like how he like looks like around like he's looking in pockets. I'm like, Yoshi, you're naked.
He's like, where was he? Saddle.
Where was he gonna keep the money?
Maybe he's given a little satchel when he goes out for money.
It makes
on little errands.
It makes me think of a Sam and Max line.
He's got his little saddle on, so maybe he'll have a little pocket somewhere. Mario's, put a bit of a change in for him. Yeah,
maybe. But Yoshi
maybe just eats it and he can spit it out. Maybe he's got one stored in his egg somewhere.
In his gut.
You know what? Yoshi has never laid any eggs in this episode, in the series, so far. We have
just
seen
his own
0
eggs.
Yoshi eggs.
Maybe they would have thought that'd be too weird.
Or it wasn't until Mario World 2 that Yoshi eggs really became a thing.
No, I think he would poop out a power-up every once in a while.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't remember that well.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to, just like if you eat a certain amount of whatever the fruits were, he would give you a 1-up.
5 apples.
Mm.
Okay. Either way, Yoshi, I feel like we've all been there where we get up to the counter and we've ordered the stuff and then we're like,
I don't have my wallet. It makes me think of a Sam and Max line where, like, I think someone's asked them for money and Sam's like, I must have left my wallet in my other suit, Max. And they look at Max and he's like, I'm naked.
I'm naked. I don't have any money on me.
Where could I hide that money? Nowhere. That's where.
Anyway,
the cashier dinosaur is getting real annoyed with this because Yoshi ordered so much stuff, and now it's like, oh well, I can't
it's
even
true.
buy it. So
now they're gonna turn Yoshi into the secret sauce.
Making special Scoopa sauce out of Yoshi now.
Gonna make a special limited edition Yoshi burger
out of dinosaurs. It's blended beavers, blended dinosaurs.
Oh no!
Terrible. But Mario steps up because Mario and Ko have caught up, and they're like, "Excuse me, Koopa. This is like no way to treat a customer. Customer's always rigged.
How much does he owe you?
Like, I'll pay, whatever." So Koopa says the total, which is 18 coins, which, considering that Yoshi ordered 18 things, that's only running one thing per 1 coin. Which,
although I was trying to think, like, is everything worth 1 coin, or
you could break
is there
down
a
the
different
math from there and go like, maybe the shake is 2 coins and then this is 50 and do the math from there. But the simple answer is that everything, I don't think Koopa wanted to do like different prices for things, I think everything would just be the same price and it would all be in the same value of the cave people.
You've got to keep it just simple so you can work out the change. Yeah, you don't want to be putting like cents onto it or whatever.
Just Mario's like, this is a highway robbery.
What if you only ordered like one fry? Then you'd owe them half a
Like
coin
one
back.
fry.
Well, if you got
True.
one papaya fry and the papaya fry was half a coin, then they'd have to give you half a coin back, and that's not a thing.
They don't
So-
give change.
We keep the change in these parts.
Hey, we offer no credit to actors, writers, or plumbers.
What does that mean?
Is that like an inside joke? Like,
I feel like it is.
They had like a strike at the time or something, so they were like, just
Maybe.
like, no, stuff your rights. We don't
The
care.
writer's strike wasn't until like 2010, 2011, but
I feel like offering no credit to actors is like a Hollywood thing, and then they added writers because the writers were making an inside joke, and then
because
they
Phil
added
Harnage was
plumbers,
desperate.
and then they added plumbers to tie it into Mario.
There you
There's
go.
definitely a bit of salt there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Speaking of salt,
We're gonna
okay,
have
so we
talk
come
about it
to
now.
the worst line in the episode.
So it's that Mario is complaining about the prices, which honestly, it doesn't seem like that bad to
We've
me
talked about
anyway.
Mushroom Kingdom prices before, being insane in Mario 3 with 1 million gold coins going to the orphanage. And that if you made it into yen, that it would be
But I mean, in the
slightly
Party
more
Line
reasonable.
episode, we find that you could just bash a block whenever you need money. So it's like, I guess money's just not too hard
You
to
don't
come
have to
by.
work hard for money, but Koopa lets us know that these high prices, he calls them inflation, which is also what's going to be happening to these people after they've eaten his Scoopa Koopas.
Boom.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
Excuse me, Koopa?
Excuse me?
Are you into inflated individuals?
Nope. Alright, we're done. Alright. Okay, what's the next scene?
That's all, folks.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Anyway, I like the smug Bowser face that he makes.
It's true. It's a very modern day Bowser face that he gives at the end here, where it's like, you can't argue with me. I am the bourgeoisie. You are but a proletariat who must buy my goods. So, I'm thinking the Scoopa sauce might be made out of rats. Something Scoopa said about it. I was like, maybe it's made out of rats because they don't really have an infestation problem. So they just take the rats and blend them like beavers.
Oh my
At least
God.
it's a meat of some variety. It could have
There you
been could be
go.
worse.
Any meat is wasted meat.
So then we cut to either Yoshi did buy everything for everyone, or Luigi is now eating Yoshi's lunch.
I think
Because I guess
Mario-
because Mario paid for it, he's like, all right, Yoshi, you gotta share it. And Yoshi's like,
either that
"Oh."
or out of goodwill, Yoshi was like, we can share with friends. So
My
they're
only
eating
comment here is that they're
the
eating
food.
way too loud.
The noises are absolutely disgusting. What is the
It's like
opposite
Peach's-
of ASMR?
Ugh. Like, I
It's-
guess it's
it's
still
episode.
ASMR, just gross ASMR.
Well, ASMR is like enjoyable stuff. No one
Oh,
is
not always.
enjoying these noises.
Here it's like Toadstool's trying to talk to them and they're just like,
It is like table manners to the worst. I sometimes worry, like when I eat and I talk, I'm like, oh shoot, did I talk? Like people see all the food in my mouth, or was it
I know
hopefully
that
all hidden away?
you've told me before that I drink too loud.
Well, that's
Look, I just get really thirsty and I need the water to be in my body right now. And so I go,
I
goop,
think
goop, goop, goop.
that goes in the family because I've called mom out for that too. And once at school, I was called out for it. They're like, stop glugging the stuff. And I'm like, I don't glug.
Just
And I
like,
tried
I
to take a
need-
tiny sip and I couldn't do it.
Just, I need water and I need it now.
It needs to be in
Give
my
me
body.
Give me an IV and put the water directly in my body.
So
do
you
that.
guys drink like you've just ran a marathon. You just like squeezing the bottle.
I guess so. 'Cause it's like, oh shoot, I needed water.
It's like I dehydrate myself and then I suddenly need water and it's like, I need it now. Ah!
It feels like if you go to the bathroom only like once a day, the amount of like intensity.
It's like people ask me why I'm in the bathroom all the time, and I'm like, it's because I drink a lot of water.
First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, consistently,
It's part of my daily ablutions.
is you go to the
I
bathroom.
go to the bathroom first thing.
I'm like, let's get up, and you have to go to work, and you're like, fine. And the first place you go is not downstairs. It's I'm
There's
sorry.
no time to go to the bathroom once I go to work.
Anywho, Toadstool's faces me in this scene, which is her just going, "Oh my, I am disgusted being in the same vicinity at the same table
I love
as
how
you people."
she's just sitting there eating celery in defiance, and she can't even eat her celery in peace. Like when they're all done, like the celery is still sitting on the table.
I know, and I've also been there with Toadstool, where it's like you can't really eat when everyone else is eating around you. It happened to me recently, where we went
Really?
out to eat, and it was like we moved locations, and we got the food out because we ordered a takeout, and I was like, oh, they didn't give me utensils, but they gave everyone else utensils and their stuff, and they're like,
Okay.
why aren't you eating, Delfino? And I'm like, well, I don't have utensils, and this requires utensils, and they're like, oh, that sucks. And they just went right back to eating their food. And I'm like, I can't even get a knife out of you guys. Thanks a lot. So then I had to go home like an hour and a half later and eat cold pancakes. It's like, this stinks.
Yeah, you can't just like
You don't
shovel
eat
that in.
pancakes with sticky
Nah.
syrup with your hands. And I didn't have a napkin. So it's like, I just have to sit here and watch everyone else eat and just suck it up. So that's what Toadstool's doing. And also, Mario turns to her and starts talking with his mouth full of disgusting fries. And it's like, oh my. This is just. Toadstool. And she doesn't even want to eat the fries because they're touched with Koopa claws. And she's like,
Koopa
I don't
germs.
trust
They
anything
got
that's
those
been in
Koopa cooties on them.
I just don't trust it. Everyone's eating so gross. So then Luigi decides we need to order another round of food because this wasn't enough food. Brother mio. Is he saying brother of mine
That
in
line
Italian? Or
yeah.
did he squeeze brother and Mario into the same
Was
word?
he trying to say brother and then he belched because his belly was too full? Brother mio.
Where'd Mio come from?
Because when they get up to move, they're like making a sloshing noise because their
my
bellies are too big. And I'm like,
God.
ah!
Throw up. It was very
At
gross.
least make like a bouncy ball noise or something. That's what they usually do.
Anyways,
It's more funny
enough
that
about
way.
them eating. We cut to the fruit of their spoils, and Mario is
Like a
looking
week later.
allegedly.
He is king of the junk food pile. He's just like laying on top of his junk food.
Like a
mansion.
starfish, just
Belly up.
And then Yoshi is sitting on the floor, and Luigi is
He's
sleeping.
like sitting like a flamingo.
Is sleeping.
And I was just like,
so very strange.
why is Luigi standing up? That's so weird. Honestly, this whole next scene felt like there's this John Mulaney bit where he's talking about mariachis on a subway, where it's like he's sitting on the subway and he's like, oh, there's a mariachi player. Oh, there's another one. Oh, hey, there's a third one. Looks like they're getting their instrument. Oh, no. And then, like, they start playing their mariachi music, and it's just the loudest thing you've ever heard.
Oh, no.
It kind of felt like that, where I'm sitting here and I'm like, huh, that's funny. Luigi's kind of sitting there at this, like, sitting like a flamingo. That's kind of weird. And then Toadstool comes in, and then Yoshi's, like, walking around clucking, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Yoshi's doing, like, a cluck. Oh, no.
This is where we go from normal episode to insane. So first, Toadstool storms in and she goes, dang, Mario, you live like this?
Exposed.
It is. Which, I'm busting you out, Peach. Sometimes it's either you or Mom's car is like this, where it's like, dang, Peach, how'd you let your car go?
Look,
Look,
okay.
I can be pretty similar too.
Sometimes I get fast food and it's in my car.
And it stays in the car.
Usually I
It's
stick it in
just
an
bad.
Arby's bag.
It's all in the Arby's.
I can't help it. I like Arby's.
Finger looking good.
No, that's Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
No, that's KFC.
It's KFC.
Oops.
It's KFC.
KFC's
Yeah.
finger looking okay. But so Toadstool decides that everyone needs to go on a diet, which if I have to give any like crap to Toadstool this episode, it's here. Because you don't put other people on diet. For diets to really like pay off, it has to be a personal investment in dieting. You can't have people around you saying, you're going on a diet, we're going to cut off your food. Because you're just...
When she says diet, she means she's going to starve them to death.
They're going on a food diet, aka fasting.
She's going to lock them in a room
diet.
and not let them eat anything until they turn into skeletons.
I mean, isn't fasting a form of diet?
Could you imagine one of your friends being like, all right, you guys, you go on a diet. All right, we're shutting it all off.
I'm going to lock you in your house and take all your food.
I'm going to start eating the mattress if that's the case.
Especially like, Mario's a bit tubby, but they're not that far gone.
I mean, they're a bit far gone because Mario's like, I do not need to go on a diet.
He's like, no, not a diet. Please help me up, princess. I can't get up.
And she just swiftly, I don't even think she says anything. She
just has the angry swish of her skirt. She's just like, ugh.
She slams the door with pure class. Like, I don't need to be around you. As a princess,
I do like how
better.
When she's like, you're all going on a diet, they all immediately like springboard up like, what? Diet?
No, can't. Please. So they beg not to, but Toadstool's like, whatever. And she locks the door, I guess from the outside, which, what a door.
That's really dangerous.
We cut to like a few hours later, I guess.
Yeah.
Mario has reached his limit.
Let me out! Let me out! He's banging on the door.
I'm dying in here. Also, Luigi and Yoshi are gone.
But
more importantly, I'm hungry.
Funds. And Toadstool walks in, and she's like, "Where'd they go? Did you let them out?"
I thought I locked you in here. How did they get out? And he's like, they got up and they danced away.
They flew away. And she's like, Mario, I know we're crazy about chicken, but they did not fly away.
What? They grew wings and flew away? Really?
Come on, Mario. That's not gonna happen. And as she says this, we are revealed that indeed did happen. And we are shown weirdest looking chickens, if you want to call them that, I've ever seen.
So it's that eating the egg Scoopa Koopas, as we've alluded to.
With the crack cocaine.
With the crack cocaine. Has been slowly turning all of the cave people into chickens. Which
Chickendactyls.
Chickendactyls.
So they're
kind of gives credence to the whole new thing that dinosaurs evolved from birds.
There you go. This episode actually means something.
So the award for the grossest looking chickadactyl hybrid thing goes to Luigi.
It of course goes to Luigi. Yoshi was already a dinosaur.
I mean, Yoshi already kind of looked like a dinosaur, but
his body barely changed. But Luigi's terrifying.
got like the throat thing. He's got like a hole in his butt where his tail's sticking out. I'm like, this is disgusting. It reminds me of that one episode of Kirby, Fossil Fools.
That one's just funny.
It's based on Jurassic Park. It's where they combine like the DNA of all the villagers with the dinosaurs, and like they all look like horrible abominations. Especially the Brontosaurus man, who just looks like a wee-wee.
Oh no!
It's just like
they made all the dinosaurs skin colored.
They're all skin colored, and like they're based on the Cappy enemies, which are just like
mushrooms.
They're like the mushrooms, but they don't have the hat. They look kind of like the gyroids from Animal Crossing, you know?
Yeah, where they got.
So imagine that on a Brontosaurus, which is just like the dinosaur with the long neck. And I'm just like, why? Who looked over this and thought it was okay? Phil Harnage!
Phil!
You're in trouble!
I don't know, this
You
in a
got
modern
some
day way.
explaining to do.
It also reminds me of cats, where some people got cats outfits with different colors, but some people, cough cough, Idris
Idris
Elba,
Elba.
just got their skin matched to their fur. Sorry, their fur matched to their skin. So Idris Elba just looks like a naked cat.
Naked cat human. It's just
This is
horrible.
wrong. This isn't being Max is like. I don't want to see it.
Also
Either way-
said as just the little cherry on top of the awkward sundae, Koopa calls them all dumb clucks.
Which okay, so you take CL and you either replace that with one letter or you remove one of those letters and you get equally insulting insults. We can't even say them. We can't bring ourselves to say it. But
Oh
it's
my God.
absolutely insane. I feel like, if anything, instead of fast food, this episode feels like more of a commentary on drugs. People throwing away their life savings for that one sweet release chasing the dragon. That's drugs. That's not fast food. Fast food's a long con. Drugs are that immediate, you owe me 10K.
I need that soma.
We need that soma, and it's gonna kill me, but it's the best thing ever. And this just feels like drugs with how people and they physically change. It's like that can happen with the drugs where, your complexion changes, you might lose hair. That might be from stress. But you can just change your attitude, your personality. This is drugs. This is not fast food. Koopa's money laundering, and he's using this Scoopa Koopa as a cover for his drugs.
So my question is, was this Koopa's master plan the whole time? Because he mentions earlier that
there's going to be funny side effects.
There's going to be a weird side effect. And I'm like, did he test this, or is he just winging this whole thing? Because
he was winging everyone.
Was he just assuming they'd all get addicted to it and all turn into Violet Beauregard junkies or something?
I think he was looking for a long con, and it suddenly turned into...
But then they all turned into chickens.
I think it turned into the fastest con of all. He was like, even if they're chickens, they'll still give me money on a regular basis. And suddenly, they shoved it all at him. And he's like, oh, well, there's no more to get from them.
He's like, dang, now they're all chickens.
We've
what am I
squeezed
going to
the
do
well
now?
dry.
But it's
Just
time
make a new
for
well out of those
fortune number 2, baby. KFC.
He's gonna kill these chicken dactyls.
He's gonna turn them into KFC and sell it to the dinosaurs and make another quick buck.
And he's a fiendish capitalist for doing this. He will murder his current customers and feed them to his next customers. Is it cannibalism? In a way. Because they're dactyls, so they're dinosaur related. It's like if we ate monkey. That just ain't right.
It's a bit like when you get some
There's
popcorn
also the
chicken
level of
and you throw it to a seagull.
No, I'm just thinking of Futurama. Do you know which episode I'm talking about? I haven't seen
the
it.
one with the energy drink thing?
No, it was the one where they go to the planet with delicious it looks like popcorn chicken, where it's super delicious.
Oh, that one.
And they're eating it, and then suddenly they get contacted and they find out that planet that they found all of these delicious little chicken, it was actually a nursing planet for an entire species babies. And they're like, oh my God. And the episode actually gives a little commentary on food ethics. It's just the food chain to eat things on the in the food cycle. You can't go fully without it, but you can go, it's what is the line between this thing isn't sentient to this thing is sentient, and it can we can't eat this, but we can eat the offspring of that. It has turned into that kind of episode. But there's also a funny line where they talk about how you can't make some animals vegetarian, and the protesters are like, yes, we can. We taught this lion to eat tofu. And they cut to the lion.
Saddest looking lion.
And it's the saddest malnourished lion, and it goes, just ain't. It's a debatable subject, but that's not what this episode's about. This episode is about how if you eat too much fast food, the corporations will
You'll
kidnap
turn
you
into a Goomba.
and blend you like beavers into the food.
It's all a plot.
It's all a ploy. So, Koopa also mentions that he can't be too rich or too evil, so he's just doing both at the same time, making all that cash money. So, I think Yoshi and Luigi come back with some more food, and then Mario and Toadstool interfere, and they go, "Give me that! Like, give me that food!" And Toadstool just keeps chastising them, and she's like,
It's like they don't even notice that they're chickens. Like, they're just like, oh, they have wings. That's weird. I'm like, do you not notice that he's a chicken?
The chicken's the only thing that's changed about them, but
Luigi's spine is just buggered. Like, it's just bent backwards. He's just not having a good time.
Upwards. Where does ribs go? We don't know. Wherever those ribs went, they're in danger. Now, maybe they're all gone. Maybe the chicken evaporated all the bones.
Oh my
restructured the bones.
Made a wishbone.
Luigi and Yoshi are so addicted to this stuff, they can't even form words to describe how they want it back or like try and reason it out. They just start squawking, and it's like, this is about drugs, man.
This is scary.
This is worrisome. So then Koopa comes up and is like, that's right, Mario and Toadstool. I'm gonna murder your brother and your Yoshi, and I'm gonna eat them, because that's what I do, and I did that to them. How's that make you feel? And Mario's like, you can't get away with this. You can't do this. And then Koopa's like, oh yeah?
I already have got away with it.
You can't stop me. And also, I use Salem witch trial logic. Hey, everybody!
They're trying to take away your Egg McMuffins.
How do you feel about that? What are you gonna do? And it's like, dang, this really is like a current day problem where when you want to interfere with something but your numbers aren't big, it's really easy to just get overwhelmed by, look, everybody, they're so bad. What are we gonna do with them? And it's like,
Get him!
Mob mentality is a real issue to worry about. But here, it's just with ravenous chicken people.
Ravenous chicken people.
So the music starts at this point, and it's all about running away.
It's Mario and Toadstool teaming up to run away from the chicken citizens because we can't attack the chicken citizens because they're our friends.
They're friends. It's like zombies. You don't want to kill them. They're your friends. You want to help them, but you can't kill them. So there's a lot that happens as they sneak around. They go on Star Road for a moment.
I guess the Star World is kind of just like the intermediate place that leads to all the other worlds.
It's like the O'Hare train station.
Because they've been
That's
there
an
before.
airport, not a train station. They're running away. And eventually they go underwater and they have to sneak around a fish. And they can't do that. So the fish wakes up and then they walk or run away. And then the fish is like, whatever, it's fine. And then music time ends. They got away from the chicken people. That's all.
I don't even remember what the song was. That's how much I was blanking out. I think I was still trying to process this whole episode.
You were taking this as a break too.
I took a little breather to try to process what I just witnessed.
But we're getting to the root of the problem, which also is that this episode was not about drugs. I lied. This episode is actually about waste disposal. And how Koopa is taking all of the residual stuff that he doesn't use to just dump into the caves.
I mean, why not?
Well, a lot of his stuff could be composted. Eggshells, banana peels. They mentioned stuff, and I'm like, that is all organic.
When they first show off the garbage pipe, I thought it was going to be like, oh, this is what the sauce is made of. Oh,
It's made
but
of trash.
It's less like that. And it's more like it's just an alternate way to get up into the restaurant. Like, that
I
was the whole
suppose so.
point. The point
Yeah.
wasn't about garbage or anything. Like, it was just that, oh, this is a way we can get into the restaurant if we can go up this pipe, which is spewing out garbage.
Right. So we don't really want to go up that pipe yet. So I think they talk about they need a power up before they go fight Koopa. Because if they just run in there, they'll be French fried if they just run in there.
Yeah, they'll
on their
French
own.
fry them. That was a really
Yeah.
good line.
So Toadstool asks that they bash the blocks. And she's like, ladies first, I'm going there. And Mario's got no measure of manners. He's
No
just like,
manners.
not me. I'm going to bash the blocks. And he starts beating up blocks. And they
And then
do
Peach is like, no, we have to use logic. Hit the random block.
And they do this fun thing where they time the random block. It's like, dang, did Phil, in his manic state, remember something from the games? What's going on?
It's like the one thing in this episode that relates to the games.
The one thing. Maybe another thing later, but I don't know. They look at that timed block and they time it right and they get the leaf and they get the wing. No, they get
a
the
cape.
feather.
They get the
cape.
feather that gives them the cape.
Yes, I know what the power-ups are. So now Mario's trying to remember manners. And he's like, oh, ladies first up the drain pipe? And she goes, not on your life.
No.
Like, are you serious, Mario? No. You're taking the lead here. So Koopa
I really love this bit.
Koopa's preparing to, like, he's either preparing to cook him or he's like, oh, look at this money, it's great. And then Mario flies through the pipe and he goes up and he goes, health inspection.
It's so funny to me.
It's a really funny sing-song
It's
way
also
that he
very
says
true.
it.
It's like you'll be at work and they'll be like, oh, the health inspector's here. And you're like, oh my god, health inspector, quick, put away all the open cups.
We can't make it look like people ate here.
Everybody clean everything real quick. Like, act like you're working.
Working
You're
hard.
like, oh, I'm working so hard. Yeah, I'm writing notes.
We can all relate to that.
For sure. It's true. But this battle, I think it's less of a physical battle and it's more of a pun battle between Mario and Koopa. Because they're just throwing puns right back at each other. They just each got quips to share. But Mario wins out the quip battle because
he
needs to take that money
the
and
restaurant
run.
to the brown.
Well, before that, Toadstool says that she'll let the chicken dactyls free. Which this just reminds me of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she'll let them free range chicken dactyls.
Free-range
Which
chicken dactyls.
This just reminds me of the episode from Gravity Falls where they come across the clones and they set them free into the wild, and they have like this heartfelt moment, and then Candy goes, "Oh, they won't last for a week." And they go, "Yep."
It's so
like,
true.
Roaming free. Oh, they're not gonna last a day with dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're gonna get eaten.
Sad but true.
I just love how Koopa just grabs the cash and runs. He's like, well, I've lost. Bye. I'm taking fortune number 1 out of here.
Goodbye. So then Mario storms in front of the stall and he's like, this place is closed by order of the Public Health Inspection Service.
I just love how far he takes the bit.
And he's like,
Very
and to make
nice.
sure no one ever cooks anything ever again. And he uses his spinny tornado powers to demolish the stall.
All those poor dinosaurs are out of the job.
What are we gonna do?
They were just trying to make minimum wage.
I mean, I don't think Koopa was giving them minimum wage.
They weren't getting paid at all.
Yeah,
They were getting paid in egg
They do what they're told.
They were getting paid in living. And not being made into Scoopa sauce. That's what happened to them. So evil. So
Mario's orders. Eat your vegetables.
Eat your veggies, kid. They're good for you.
I did like the Dr. Mario line. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh yeah.
It was.
That was a fun.
I don't even
Nod,
think
yeah.
was Dr. Mario out yet.
I'll check.
Yeah, it was on.
I think it was on
NES.
NES because it was packed
Yeah.
with Tetris. Dr. Mario is the persona of Mario. I'm talking the game.
This is the one time where we make a Dr. Mario joke.
Yeah, it was 1990. So, yeah, It existed.
I do love Dr. Mario.
Anywho, so they're like, oh, everyone will go back to normal sooner or later. But now they
So then,
don't
then
have
we
their
cut
crack cocaine.
to sooner or later, where everyone's
Yeah.
just back to normal.
And then Yoshi's like, you're saying I clucked like a chicken?
I am embarrassed.
He says it so cutely.
Yoshi's just adorable.
He is very cute in this episode. When he's not a scary chicken. When he's not that, he's
I did think it was
pretty
kind of
good.
cute how he was sitting like a hen when they were all sleeping.
I
mean, it
guess
looked
so.
kind of normal to me. Like, I think that's why I didn't notice it at first. I was too focused on Luigi. Like, why is Luigi sitting like that?
Either way, so they're eating their greens because they realize that eating greens is the way forward. So I think Luigi asks Mario to please pass the salad because Luigi's got manners now.
Unlike Mario.
Yeah, who goes, yeah, sure thing, Luigi. Whoop!
Woo!
Watch it.
Yeet!
And he just yeets the salad bowl and he goes, oh my gosh, guys, I invented the tossed salad.
But
And as he's laughing, you can hear the plate break behind him. And I feel like he tried to laugh it off, but after the plate broke and he stopped laughing, everyone
like,
stared at
"Yeah,
him and was like, Mario, you're
I
gonna
feel
have
like
to replace that.
along with eating vegetables, Toadstool was also trying to teach them manners. Which is why Luigi says, please pass the vegetables.
You're right, and they apologize. What is this? That White House lady who would teach people the manners about like dipping your fingers into the finger
Into
washing
the finger bowl.
Yeah. It's such an old-timey food thing, but it's like it's not just forks and spoons and napkins that you have to worry about when you're eating. It's like certain ways of eating. And also, if you ever get things on your fingers, if you lick it off your fingers, you're a savage. You have to use the provided
You use the finger bowl to like get your fingers wet and then wipe it on the napkin.
blot the stuff and do it this way. And it's like, you know those things in like 30 years from when this was recorded, or just 10 years. They turn into like
When you're finished with your
dressing
meal,
bowls.
it's like you gotta put your silverware in like a certain like
Well,
clock
that's-
position to signal that you're finished with the meal and the server can take your plate.
Well, that's helpful to servers, because otherwise they'd have to converse with you, and we all know that's awkward.
Are you done eating yet? Are you done eating yet?
Are you done? You done?
You done, son? You've been here for 2 hours. We gotta
No.
move. Someone else needs that plate.
We only have 2 plates. Please, give up the plate. But that is the end of our episode with Mario tossing the salad.
Yeah, that end was cringe.
It's going to the cringe compilation, as is this entire episode.
Oh, God. This entire episode was very cringy.
I
felt attacked the whole time.
I felt attacked, but not as a person, but for Phil. Phil, are you okay? Were you okay? This comes from a place of like, someone's got problems. It comes up soon, but we recorded our episode with a guest in the future with Party Line. But that episode was also one where it's like, this does not feel like a fun episode for kids, like that's got the Mario characters or fun engagement stuff. It just feels like the writer letting themselves go onto the paper. Like, at some point, Mario's talking about a problem that he has in the episode, and he's like, these things, they're just terrible, they're junkies. It's like, this
Kids
isn't
these
Mario
days
talking.
with their newfangled electronics.
It's like, this isn't Mario talking, this is the writer talking.
This is a 60-year-old man venting about
Who's-
technology.
Like, this is just sad.
This episode is just Phil Harnage complaining about junk food.
He's absolutely aghast by the system, and it's like, Phil, you're too late.
It really
Fast
feels like
food
one of
took
those
over, like,
episodes that's
20
supposed to
years
be like
before.
all about healthy eating or whatever, but they're completely tone deaf about the whole thing.
I think the much better episode to convince kids to eat healthy is the Powerpuff Girls one with the broccoli.
Oh, that
Because
episode's
the
great.
only way
Your broccoli is to eat it all up.
they're like, I'll just put it over here and do this. And then suddenly the broccoli people invade and they like grow back. Even if you like punch their head off, they'll just grow a head back. And they're like,
They're
well,
like, oh, we have to eat the broccoli people.
we have to do it. Like, we can't keep avoiding the broccoli. And they do. And they're like, I guess it wasn't the worst.
I always think of the one scene where like they make a giant vat of like cheese fondue and they pour it over the broccoli. And I'm like, that actually sounds delicious.
Broccoli cheddar soup is really good. It's probably high carb though, which makes it
Actually, I really like broccoli. I think it's good.
Broccoli has such a bad rap. Like, broccoli is delicious.
For me, it's lettuce that I'm like, no. If lettuce gets slightly damp, I'm like, no. I don't want
Like
to
a
eat
nice
that
dry
lettuce.
lettuce. Just a
Spinach,
crunchy dry lettuce.
however, is supreme. I guess crunchy dry would be okay, but when
Spinach
it's
is
a little
delicious.
damp, spinach is supremo.
Like,
I
wilted.
gotta remind. We're going grocery shopping tomorrow. I gotta ask for spinach instead of lettuce. So I'll
And
eat
a lot
more
of people
salads.
don't like Brussels sprouts. I think they're delicious.
They smell terrible, and you know it.
I happen to like it. I'm sorry.
That's because Mom always cooks them in vinegar, and she leaves them in like 10 minutes too long, and then they burn and they smell the house. It's terrible.
Get those smelly smells.
I feel like vegetables and fruits, people don't like them because unlike processed foods, you're going to get a different taste or experience each time you eat it. Because with processed food, you know exactly what you're going to get every time you buy it. It's like cereal. It's like, it's always the same cereal. It's never mushy. Well, it can be mushy, but for the most part, it's the same like texture. It's the same taste. It's all that. But it's like with fruits, it could be too mushy. It could be too tart. It could be all these things. And kids want consistency. So they just don't want to eat those vegetables. Maybe. I'm no psychologist.
All right, we should probably come up with our MVPs for this episode, I guess. It's such a hard decision.
I know.
Honestly, no one really deserves it in this episode.
Well, I guess if I have to give it to anyone, it's gonna be Toadstool. Because she was a green freak. But you know what? That was better than being a chicken. A chicken dactyl.
She's the only one with her shit together.
Being an absolute like slob about food. She's like her bar of manners is maybe too high, but it's something.
You know, after agonizing on it, I think I'm gonna give it to Koopa, actually.
You're gonna give it to Mr. Inflate.
He won!
He did, yeah. He got the money from him. And
he stole all the money and he ran. He had a successful business. He exploited everyone, and he turned
his
out
workers,
the winner
his customers, everybody. No expense was spared in sparing their expenses.
That's another lesson, I guess, as well. Like the fast food companies, they'll always win. They'll always get your money.
I think that is the sad truth about fast food companies. Is fast food companies don't care about you and they want your money. This is going in a different direction, but I feel like it's only recently that as a collective, the common knowledge is that fast food companies that have crazy Twitters and other stuff, it's at this point, it's a proven strategy to get people to like you. And it's not some intern going crazy and getting fired. It's deliberately planned marketing stuff. No longer is it the one intern who went crazy. It is the whole marketing team being like, all right, what kind of tweet will get mainstream attention?
It seems to work like, you know, like Wendy's. We don't even have like
Wendy's
that type of Wendy's over here.
The big pioneer in it, yeah.
Yeah, but even I know about them, and we don't have them. We don't have them here. So it works.
I remember I used to think Wendy's was like high class dining because we went there a lot when we were kids.
True.
And now the Wendy's
it's just
close
the one
to us
next to us
trash.
Is garbage. Like the McDonald's is better than the Wendy's. Like
it's true.
There was one time, I don't know if I told the story in the podcast before, that I went there, I ordered a 10-piece chicken nugget, I got 9 chicken nuggets, and one of them was spicy.
Okay, it's a tempura shrimp. It's like Russian roulette
chicken.
I think you're about to say one of them was like a chicken head or something. So that's worse.
It was a special shape.
No, my friend at work was telling me about how he got a bag of barbecue Lays, and in the bottom of the bag was a barbecued gummy bear.
Okay.
And like he sent it
How'd it
he
taste?
sent it to the well, he didn't eat it. He just took a picture and he sent it to the Lay's
Oh.
corporate, and he's like, "Hey, there was a gummy bear in my bag." And like they tried to pass it off as like, "Oh, it's just like a piece of congealed fat or something." And like he's like, "No, it's
That's even
clearly
worse.
a gummy bear." And so eventually they sent him a bunch of like chip coupons,
Yeah, coupons, not the actual chips.
which
So you
was
can spend more money.
If they say it's congealed fat, I'm like, oh, that's even worse. I don't want. I
I
prefer
know
a
that's
gummy
what I
bear.
was thinking. I'm like,
Ugh.
ew, just admit it's a gummy bear.
What the fuck? That's
Gummy
awful.
bears,
Brody.
repackaged, congealed
But
fat.
that's why he complained in the first place, because he's like, I knew they would send me free stuff, so
If you complain loud enough to the manager, oh well.
it's
You
true.
get more barbecued gummy
They
bears.
can spare the expense, maybe, but complaining to the employee working minimum wage is not a cool thing to do. Do you have a worst? I mean, the worst story I can think of from where you worked, Peach, was where the guy ate like 7/8 of his hot dog and was like, "I want a refund. This I didn't like the taste."
Obviously.
It's just like, you just
yeah.
ate the entire thing. No.
And he's like, "No, I've got this little bit here." And he's like, "Doesn't count."
No.
Oh mate, you just pop that little bit in your mouth and you go on your way, mate. You just pop that.
Come on, dude. Do you
Yeah.
have another scary fast food story, Peach? Or
I've told enough for one day.
I suppose so.
Who's your MVP?
Yeah.
Mine's Yoshi. He's the one who got the whole gang into the situation they were in.
Yoshi did have the funnest line delivery.
Yoshi is adorable.
I liked a lot of his lines.
I just feel like I've been giving the MVP slot to Yoshi in like every episode just because he's so cute, and I'm like,
Yoshi-
oh, everybody else sucked. I
Yeah.
liked Yoshi.
Be hard not to. Yeah.
I'm gonna to Toadstool again because I don't know. She stuck to her morals, and that's really I'm very proud of her. She wasn't like, I'll just have one. She's like, no.
It's very
No,
admirable.
I'm not eating this garbage.
I don't know. I don't usually care for Toadstool.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess
She's the
she's
serious
just kind of
one.
like the no fun, know it all kind of person, and I'm just like, oh, come on,
As
live
a
a
current
little.
resident of the no fun police, I find her very relatable.
All right, fine, no fun, police.
You gotta
Anywho.
work, Peach. You can't have fun.
I'm
You
sorry.
got a deadline.
I'm sorry, Peach, but you know what happens? No working, no products.
Yeah, I know, no rules, and I don't do anything. Haha.
Exactly. It's like the boss at my work is like, you don't have a deadline, just work whenever you can. And it's like, that is the worst thing you could tell me because I will forever put this off. And I will
deadline.
never get it done.
Yeah,
I
just-
need
yeah,
some
sit in the
form
lunchroom.
of deadline. Like, tight deadlines, they do stink. Just having people being like breathing down your neck, but you need some structure. You can't be freeform, or else, you lose interest and then no work gets done.
Yeah, just be like, yeah, to get this done by next week. That'll be good. No rush,
Yeah.
but yeah, take your time.
That is something that podcasts also help with. It's like it's a weekly schedule. So you do record when you want to, but when it comes down to like, oh, the episode's out tomorrow, I should edit this.
I find that helpful with art and stuff. It's like setting up a queue and then having the queue go
My
out.
queue's gonna run out.
It helps it to be consistent.
Yeah.
So it's not just like everything on one day.
Art dump. No art dumps today.
Because that's how I've been trying to do my DeviantArt. But
art dumps or
it's trying not to just dump everything and then go silent for 2 years or whatever and then dump it all again. It's like I try to have a schedule, but
that's what most everyone
really
does
I
on
just
Twitter.
use my DeviantArt for archiving purposes.
Cross posting, yeah. Anyway, I guess that is enough opinions and thoughts from us this episode. So, Drew, where can people find you or the House of Mario?
They can find me on Twitter at iDruby, in the House of Mario on all your favorite podcast services, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So cool. Peach, where can people
Woohoo.
find you?
You can find me at peachsupreme64.tumblr.com.
What about
Hopefully
your
I'll start
art?
filming more. You can find my art at peachsupremeart.tumblr.com.
There you go. And delfinodarians.tumblr.com. Our podcast is on most major podcasting services. I didn't even add it on some of those places and it got on there. Like I checked a Google Podcasts and it just appeared one day. I'm like, where did
it's
this
handy.
come from? Okay.
Google's just so desperate for your podcast. Like, we'll do it for you.
You did it
We
for
need-
me? I did not know we were collaborating on this. Anyways, goes up every Wednesday on podcast services, but you can watch on YouTube every Monday a new episode with accompanying visuals to help you visualize what the heck is going on in this episode, because it's insane.
It won't help, but we'll
We can't
try.
describe it in words what we saw. And also on the 15th of every month, we have a new episode. And this month's will not be reanimated, but it'll be in approximately 5 days when this episode goes out. We'll be having our own little video game awards, so please tune into those.
Yay! I'm excited.
Woo!
I gotta fine tune my list.
Yeah, we've got a list going. It's very much a we make the rules. There's no like, well, Halo Infinite. It's like, we did not look at Halo Infinite. That game
I don't
means
even
nothing
have a
to us.
PlayStation.
That's on Xbox.
Oh, sorry.
Master Chief is
Shows
the
you how
Xbox
much-
man.
It shows you how little I know about Halo.
Jeez. The big PlayStation game for last year was that Last of Us was.
Ratchet and Clank was the big
Was
one.
it
that
Ratchet
last
and Clank
year.
for PS5?
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank,
Okay.
Eternal. What else came out last year?
Okay. And
Deathloop.
Psychonauts. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
probably.
Psychonauts was great.
Psychonauts is MVP. Anyways, there's all those places.
I'm tired.
We are tired, but I want to make a quick little plug because it's a friend of the show from the House of Mario. One of the House of Mario crew members has recently come out as a trans woman. So we have a link in the description, her GoFundMe, to help donate to her for vocal training, wardrobe changes, and all around transitional expensive. Only donate if you can. This is not an obligation if you're a listener, but it would super, super de-duper help her out and help us out. Just spread those good dollars around. Put your money, don't put it into fast food. Maybe instead of like eating out one day, you could use that money for that Big Mac and put it here to like a really good charity and just beneficial place.
Absolutely.
Links in the description for her GoFundMe.
Our outro was composed by Taylor Lair. You can find her music at tlair.bandcamp.com. That's T, the letter T, LAIRE.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by Zani.
Paisani.
Luigi hungry!
Yoshi hungry! Stop squawking. You sound like birds. You're going on a diet, all of you.
Diet? Oh, princess, anything but that! Help me up, would you?